Okay, so if you force this hairline to be at a 30-degree angle and the toe at a 45-degree angle for a front foot, okay, you're actually working against the true anatomy of the internal foot. Now, just a minute, I gotta get a little sponge so I can wipe this off, because I really want you to see the real good connection, how the horse has a real good connection here and how he is flared or separated right here a little stretching of the lamina right here. Now eventually, if this horse would have lived, this would have grown down to be totally connected to the internal foot here with no stretching whatsoever. Back a minute here. Okay, let's see if I can clean this up a little bit so that you can really see the stretching in the toe. So I feel this is very important. Eventually he would have got this all connected better, but unfortunately he was murdered by a veterinarian. Okay. Now let's see if we can get that real close up here. Get the light on it. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See if you can get a good picture of that. Let's get this right down here where we really got some light. Rest it right here. Okay, can you see it? I'm hoping you can see it. Okay. Okay, now right here, you can see where the internal lamina connect right into this here. See that layer right there? Right about here is where it deviates right here, and you can see stretching right in here. Now, I want you to notice something. I want you to notice the shape of the bone. See, the bone itself, and a coffin bone does, coffin bones are not straight. They curve around. Here. You see the shape of the coffin bone. Okay, now, if this wall was connected all the way down, the wall would be the same shape. You see, instead the wall is going slightly out that way. Okay, but if it was connected perfectly, it would round out right here. And this is what begins to help the horse form the true Mustang roll, which is something that is natural to the foot, to the shape of the coffin bone, and not just something that you rasp. See, let's put this over here. Okay, do you see the shape of the bone? Okay, do you see how if this wall would have continued down, tightly connected here, this wall here would have had just a slight curve going that way. Kind of a slight curve under. Now, this is the hoof capsule on the other foot, and he had perfect connection all the way down in this foot, and as a result, okay, now look at the wall closely there. How it just kind of, it's straight, but it's not supposed to be straight. It's supposed to slightly start dipping in right about here, kind of like that. Now look at his other foot. He had perfect connection in this foot all the way down. I want you to see how it followed the bone and it started dipping under like this. See? Now here's the foot on that. Now I want you to look at the shape of the foot, which would have sat like this. Now see the dip? It doesn't go just straight. There's a slight bump in the foot right here, so that the toe will naturally kind of want to roll and curve under. So you can really see in the toe here how it wanted to just do a kind of a natural roll there because of the shape of the bone. Okay. Well, now, okay, on this foot here, you see a very slight example, but it still affects the foot. You want to get all of that jamming out of that, or not jamming, all of that stretching of the lamina out right here, and you want a perfect connection all the way down like this. Okay, so we're going to look at an extreme case of lamina stretching, and you can see actually how far that lamina can stretch when you look here at Cat Dancer's hooves. Now that is lamina. That is this stuff right here. See, it will stay attached to the lamina in the hoof capsule, and it will proliferate and stretch, and I guess cells are added to it, and it stays connected, but it adds to as the wall gets stretched and the internal foot gets pulled away from the wall, just like it did here. Okay, oop, let me get that there. Just like it did there, right in here. But this is just very, very minor, comparatively speaking, to what you see here in this horse. This is lamina right here, off of the internal foot, right here. Even though it's connected to the hoof capsule, and in this hoof capsule, it actually comes off of the foot right here. Now, here you see, this is one of Toby's back feet. Okay? Now, his back feet had perfect connection all the way down with no stretching of the lamina whatsoever. See the difference in that? Now, one bad thing that happens when, now in her case, now remember, in the case of this horse, okay, she had so much wall jamming in the back and ingrown bars, and I'm sure she had, you know, laminitis too, but this can happen mechanically. Horse doesn't have to have laminitis from too much grass or stress or whatever. This can happen mechanically as well by the way a horse is trimmed and the way his feet are allowed to grow. So in her case, of course, the foot that was in there, okay, with the wall being jammed up and growing from here to here, and the bars jamming up, okay, just started lifting the back of that foot up like this to where finally it was like this in the capsule, but the lamina from the foot here stayed attached to the hoof capsule, but it stretched, and it stretched a lot. You know, that's pretty bad. Now, if we looked at, guess we'll have to look at it on the next time.